Alright, on today's episode we get caught up with what's been going on with the Roadrunner, so let's get to it. Alright, so we're back for the second episode of the 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner. As you can see behind me, we've got quite a few parts on the car. We've got the motor in, the front suspension, the brakes. We've started the plumbing for all that, and we've also got the 4-link in. Check this out. So starting with the front on the Roadrunner, we did get a new Champion radiator. They are local to us in Orange. We had a Derail Performance twin 12-inch fan shroud setup modified to fit the radiator, done by our guy at B-Side Fabrication. So thanks to him for getting this to fit. Next up, we did go ahead and get the wiring harness all routed on the motor, but you can't really tell because it's all hidden under the covers, and the grommet is properly placed behind the engine. Next up, we did get a Woolwood Tandem Master brake cylinder. This is what Woolwood recommended size we run for this setup, with power brakes and a 6-piston front brake kit and a 4-piston rear brake kit. Underneath the brake booster setup, we have an American Powertrain clutch hydraulic conversion kit. So that makes it work in conjunction with the hydraulic release throwout bearing that's inside the transmission. It is self-bleeding, and it just makes everything easier to fit and function well together. Alright, cool. So while the rear end is out, Adrian did get the brackets welded in for the upper forward links. And on the rear Shockwave tower bar, this is the new mounting location for the rear coilovers. It moves them outboard here in a direct linear motion to the rear end. On the front section, it has a front crossbar, which is where the forward links attach and adjust part of the pinion angle for the rear end. Down here to the left and right of the frame rails, we have the lower forward link mounts. So this is where the lower bar attaches, that also adjusts pinion angle, but then at the same time can also help with adjusting for issues with wheel hop. So we had to remove the new Aeromotive fuel tank because, as you can see, this upper crossbar had to go in, and we had to make sure we left the rods for the tank straps, but this had to go in first so we could make sure that there's no clearance issues. And good thing we did that, because we were going to mount the returnless fuel pressure regulator up near this crossbar section, so now we're going to redesign that and figure out where to mount that piece for the fuel system while we get to plumbing that. All the fittings already came in for that, but I might need to change some of that up because I ordered a bunch of 90s and 45s for 6AN fittings, and we might need to change that. Alright, so that's it for the rear Ridetech 4-link system, so let's go ahead and check out the front. Alright, so these are the Ridetech Coilovers. They are essentially valved and assembled by Fox in terms of the shock body. It's supposed to be a really comfortable ride. We have Fox shocks on our FJ, and we've done this previously on other cars, and the Ridetech Coilovers just, they really ride great. It's a great, comfortable street ride. And they also have the option for dual adjustability for other shocks. Like if you wanted to change this out and go autocrossing, you just unbolt the shock and coilover from the control arms and the altercation system, and you could put a 2-way adjustable coilover, and it's ready to go to the track. We are going to go ahead and remove the radiator of the fan shroud and go ahead and head over to the powder coater. We are also going to be degreasing and taking the rear end with us, so that way when it gets done, by then hopefully we have the Mopar Madness Eaton True Track LSD with 370 gears or 373s. Can't remember. I'll figure that out and I'll show you guys later. I just got the call from Luis, and we're gonna head over to Garden Grove and pick up all the powder coating. We have the rear end, the radiator, the shroud, the power steering reservoir, so that way we can get all that stuff back on the car and Adrian can move forward, get the brake lines made, get the third member back in, and have the drive shaft made for the new 6-speed transmission that's in there. So let's head on over to Garden Grove. Alright, we're here at Luis's shop. Let's head inside and pick up the axle, the radiator, the shroud, and all the other bits and pieces that we need to get this car going. Here's our pieces right here. So we got all the parts loaded up in the truck, as you can see. We're gonna head back to the shop and give these over to Adrian so we can go ahead and get some more progress on that Roadrunner for you guys. All right, so to catch you guys up to speed, to reiterate, this is a 6.4 liter 392 Hemi from a 2017 Dodge Challenger. So supposedly that had really low miles, and as always, you're unsure until the first fire, but it's got the matching 6-speed. It's got a factory clutch and flywheel, and from what I understand, it is a factory twin disc clutch. So the pedal feel is amazing. It's super comfortable, it's soft, it's very predictable. We've also got the fan and radiator setup all back. It's freshly powder coated in a semi-gloss black. We wanted that to kind of dull down and not be the main focal point. We wanted the engine to still be the focal point. So it's got deep cycle fans from Derail, and it's got a dual relay control, all from the Mopar Performance wiring pack, which is what the motor is run off of. It's supplied by Mopar to have a ready to start tune, and it supplies power to the fuel pump, the fans, ECU, ignition, everything. So for AC, we had to switch the compressor on this motor because the 2017 Dodge Challenger has a variable clutch system, and it has an extra sensor that this Mopar Performance Pack ECU can't control, and neither can the vintage air system. So we went through Bouchelon Performance and got the new AC compressor that's a direct fit, comes with the plug, comes with the fittings to make custom AC lines, and it literally just bolts right up. Surprisingly, as always, that doesn't happen that way, but for this instance, it did. The power steering pump is from a Jeep with a 5.7 liter Hemi, and that is also provided through the Mopar Performance crate engine package. It's part of their front engine accessory drive system that they sell. The power steering side has a custom reservoir that is baffled. It's got a 6 AN return with a 10 AN feed to the pump. All that stuff is all fed to the Flaming River power steering rack, also joined with a Flaming River steering column. Now that has already been custom adapted with new double universal joints, a steering shaft, and it is fully collapsible. So in case of a front end impact, it does collapse and you won't have a steering column in your chest. We are still going to do a custom intake. We're kind of toying with the idea of doing a coupler and then maybe a satin carbon finish pipe with the K&N filter, or maybe just do a satin black pipe with the K&N filter. I really like the idea of adding a little bit of carbon because that'll be the only place that it's at, and it's very short and it's a small item, but it really looks good. All right, so for the driveline part of it, we did a custom drive shaft. It is made by Drivelines Incorporated. We've been using them for, it has to be at least 15 years now. We called them, we told them, hey, we want a drive shaft that's good for 800 horsepower. Even though it's not making that, we just wanted to be prepared for later. So they set us up with a transmission tail shaft adapter on the transmission itself directly, so that way it goes to a 1350 spicer joint, which is the beefiest joint that you could put on this end. On the diff side, it took us a little while to get our new SureTrack LSD. We had to play with gear ratios. We were trying to figure that out. We ended up going with what the 2017 Dodge Challenger 6-speed has as a factory rear end, which is a 3.9. I wanted to go to a 373 only because of freeway speeds, and we were possibly going to have a slightly smaller diameter tire than the factory Challenger. But now that we went this route, we're going to try to get that tire as close to that OEM diameter as possible, so that way we can keep freeway speeds and cruising into all the harmonics pleasant to drive, so that there's no droning, there's no weird road noise, and there's not too high of an RPM when you're cruising on the freeway at 70, 75 miles an hour. So with the brakes, like we mentioned, we have that Woolwood Tandem master cylinder based on the Woolwood kit we put front and rear and their piston size. So on the front we have a 6-piston, 12.2 inch drilled and slotted rotor with their Pro Hub that comes brand new from Woolwood. We have this 1.5 inch spacer because we're trying to figure out and play with the wheel fitment and figure out what kind of wheels we're going to get made for this thing. Originally, this was supposed to be just kind of a hot rod car with steelies and simple, but we went full custom with this altercation front subframe that comes with a Mustang 2 front suspension setup, custom control arms, fully adjustable, coilovers from Ridetech. Again, these Woolwood brakes are set up so that this behemoth of a car can really be stopped. So we did a 12.2 inch front kit. We also did a matching 12.2 inch rear kit, but that has a 4-piston caliper and a mechanical e-brake setup. But underneath here we have some of the AC components. To keep it out of the engine bay, we wanted to really clean it up, so we hid where the heater lines go, and we also have the new dryer that is tucked up in the fender. Now we still have some things to finish up and tidy up the lines and make sure that everything is secure and in place, but like we said, this is a work in progress, and we just want to get you guys caught up to speed with where we're at. All right, so this is the factory 6-speed that came in the 2017 Dodge Challenger, and it is a TR6060 Magnum. Again, it has a twin plate factory clutch disc in here, so it's gonna hold all the power that this is gonna throw at it, at least for now. If they decide to supercharge it, that's a whole nother story. We'll get a bigger clutch then. Go ahead.